everyone, it's your girl Miss Angie, and we are back with I didn't put God first in my relationships. I did not include God first in my relationships. So now we are on this next person. We were in more so a friendship. We never got a chance to be in a relationship. We had a friendship, and then it turned into kind of like a situationship later down the line, which I will go into more detail because two people kind of run into each other, him and someone else, which I will later, talk about. But I just wanted to solely talk about this person and the relationship as far as the friendship that we had. So pretty much as we go into just going into the story, back when I was working at Burlington, and of course the situation from SH and SP had kind of like dwindled down. And so I'm at Burlington, I'm working, and I'm just kind of just at this point, I think for me, still trying to just understand everything that has happened between these last relationships and just solely focusing on work and trying to find just that peace. So I met BC while I was working at Burlington. The initial introduction was, at the time, he wasn't working there. He was talking to one of the girls who worked there, just holding conversation. And I guess he had worked there before, I want to say, and he was coming back to work. I think that's how it went. Like, he had started there, because I think that's how the conversation between him and the other girl worked. Like, he had worked there before, and so he was coming back to work, which I didn't know. I didn't know this. I'm just going off of, this is what I ended up finding out, later on. So anyways, he was holding a conversation with this girl. I want to say, he said, hello, how are you? Because I want to say around this time, was I training in a new area? I might have been training in a new area, actually. So long story short, came across like, oh, okay, he seemed like a cool guy. Fast forward to when he started working there. When he started working there, he was just a very bubbly, fun person. Conversation was always good. Personality was always good. He was a nice looking guy. A lot of the girls, you could tell, gravitated to him, liked him or whatnot. And for me, I think the initial reaction was kind of just like, just that friendship. It was just legit that friendship. I was looking like, okay, I like him. He seems like a nice guy or whatnot. But I think for me, it was always that other side of like, you just don't know. Because you can tell that there's a lot of girls that liked him. And he just had that type of personality where you didn't know if it was coming off more so flirty or friendly. But then you kind of like, okay, that kind of might have been more so flirty and friendly. It was like a combination. It was really weird. So anyways, later on, our friendship definitely, the friendship goes into the more conversation of I'm feeling you, I like you or whatnot. And it's like, and for me, I think it was more so like I've been down this road before and I'm kind of like taking my time. And I just was like, I think my whole perspective was like, I just don't want to be hurt again. But me and BC would hang out. I got to know many of his family members. We would go to the movies, we would go out to eat, we would hang, go to different little functions, different little parties, we would go to karaoke. Like, the friendship was a very fun friendship. It was no stress. It was what it was. He was the type of person that would work. He had no problem working a job, but he always wanted more for himself. And that was just his personality. I just felt like there was always something that was kind of like hindering me from wanting this to become a relationship. And it could have been, like I said, the flirtiness / friendly type personality that he had. but that was pretty much where it was. So without really getting into detail, I would have to go into also the other person, which I will talk more about in the video. But that was pretty much the gist of BC. BC was just one of those people that I could talk to. I could be on the phone forever having conversation. It was that friendship, but then we also knew we liked each other. And people who worked with us, a lot of people would say, or some of the ladies that would be there would be like, oh, I could see y'all talking and stuff like that. And like I said, I just quite didn't know what was holding me back, but I just felt like I'm not sure if I'm technically ready for this to become a relationship. So anyways, that's pretty much part one of this new person that kind of, like I said, never filled out to be a relationship, but just someone who was my friend at that time. Someone who I could hang with, someone who was really cool, like that whole vibe and everything. It was really someone who I was like, okay, I like this friendship. At the same time, I like this person, but I just don't know where this can go. So anyways, this is part one of this situation. Once again, I'm in my 20s still, trying to figure it out. And so I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.